It's like, I just got it relayered, and it's actually really nice. I really love it, but that's why it's a little different. Anyways, and yeah, I'm wearing a Hammerfall shirt, as always. I'm going to do another palette thing. I know you probably are tired. I don't know if you guys are tired of palette, kind of like try-ons, but I really love doing these just because I'm obsessed with eyeshadow palettes, and I feel like everybody needs to know what kind of quality the eyeshadow palette is when you try it on, rather than doing more swatch based and just talking about the palette. I want to start doing, well, I mean, I have been doing more or less, you know, swatches live, and then also doing the tutorial and using the entire palette as much as possible. So if you're wondering, and if you haven't seen that in the title, you can see the double eyes back, but this is going to be the Huda Beauty, and I know these have been out for a while, but I really wanted to slowly collect them. But these are the Gemstone Obsessions. Now I'm only missing the Topaz. The Topaz didn't really appeal to me because I have so many eyeshadow palettes that are neutral, but I'm a collector, so I might collect it later on, but I wanted to get at least enough to do at least 2 eyes. I wanted to use all 4 of these on my eyes today. So I have the Sapphire Obsessions, which is actually a gift from my niece for my birthday. I got the Ruby Obsessions, which I ordered, and the Amethyst Obsessions I also ordered, and then the Emerald Obsessions. I skipped the Topaz because I just really love color, so I wanted to just kind of do more or less the color ones and then create an eye look based on all of these palettes, using them together. So I love these kinds of palettes. I know you see my Violet Voss where I say I like the Violet Voss a lot more, and I do like the Violet Voss a lot more than the Huda, but these are nice for travel, especially if you're going for the holidays somewhere. This is nice to kind of have a color story that you really like, and have like 4 drastically different looks in these little compact little guys. And then I've taken my regular Obsessions palettes on trips to Las Cruces, or when I used to live in Denver, I'd take them with me to cruises as well, and they worked really well for travel. I have the Electric Obsessions, which is the colorful one. I use this quite a bit. As you can see, the teal has taken a turn for the worst. And then I have the Smoky Obsessions, which is a nice neutral palette. It's like a really kind of like, I feel like you can create a lot of looks with these, and I have used it a lot. And then I have the Mauve Obsessions, which I didn't think I was going to like, but I actually really like it because this is really up my alley for as far as like enhancing my eyes. So yeah, these ones I wanted to focus more on the color. And now I'll open the Ruby Obsessions first. So this is what the Ruby Obsessions looks like. It's got beautiful colors, 9 shades, very pigmented, and I will do live swatches. So let's go ahead and start those swatches. Okay, there's no names to these. So there's the first shade. It's kind of like a pink. Second shade is like a metallic cranberry. Third shade is almost like a rose gold so far. Fourth shade is a matte cranberry. Then I have the next, I'm doing these by 4s. Then I have and then I'll do the final one. This one is more or less like a reddish pink, like a metallic reddish pink. This one is more of like a dark brownish red. It's metallic as well. And then this one is a coral. Actually, no, it's like a coral red almost. Like, it looks red in the pan, but it kind of swatches more orangey. So there's that. And then there is a coral, like a red coral matte. I like this color for warming up the look. It's not swatching very well, but that's it right there. And then the final one is going to be a kind of like a matte red pink. So there it is right there. Excuse the sloppy swatches, but this is the Ruby Obsessions palette. The Emerald Obsessions, which I like. Very pretty, very earthy. I like emerald colors just because it's my mom's birthstone. So these are really, really pretty. This one drew my eye the most. Okay, so there's a beautiful like citron metallic. It's so pretty, like almost like a celery green metallic. This is weird. It's like almost like a very light seafoam green. And then there's like a kind of like a grayish cool tone celery metallic green. Then a really deep metallic green. That one's gorgeous. That one's my favorite color. Next four, I have a metallic green. This is going to be a true metallic green. Then a matte one. Really pretty matte green. And then a brown. It's almost like an olive brown green. A little bit more on the brown side. And then like a moss color. This is metallic as well. And then the final shade is almost like, it's like a bright, light green. Like light greenish yellow. So there is the Emerald Obsessions. This is what it looks like. As you can see, I have been using this quite a bit. So starting from the top, oops, I did that backwards. Take the first four colors. I have a matte midnight blue. Almost like a navy blue, but it almost swatches like a greenish blue. It's kind of patchy. Then I have a metallic blue, which is really nice because it's almost like a neon on my skin. And then I have a teal. It's a metallic teal, which I really, really like. And then I have a matte teal. Wow, that swatched really weird. But there's the first four colors, and then moving on to the last five colors. These are really, really pretty. I actually imagined it to have a little bit more blue than teal in it, but this one is more of like a dark teal metallic. It's got almost like more teal. It's like a blue, but it has more teal glitter in it. And then there's a silver, which I really, really like. It's almost like a platinum silver. And then a like really bright citron. However, I feel like it does not go as bright on the eyes as it does, you know, look in the pan. And then I have a matte blue. And finally, a really pretty metallic teal blue. So there are the Sapphire Obsessions colors. This up because I have to go to work. Is the amethyst one. So here's what the amethyst one looks like. This I know will be a staple for me because purples are very complementary to brown eye color. So I really like that. So first shade is almost like a berry purple. Oh, that's so pretty. This one's probably my second favorite. This next shade is almost like it's got a bit of a fiery duochrome. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's really pretty because it has like a shift of pink reflect in there, but it's like beautiful purple. And then this one is a matte purple, very light colored. And then this one's a dark purple. This is the darkest color in the pan, or in the palette. And then the next four, actually last five. This one is those duochrome shift colors again. It's that purple with a blue reflect. Can you see it? Really pretty. It's very purple and then it shifts to blue. Really pretty. And this one is like a true, beautiful, royal, cool tone purple. It's a metallic. And then I have like a pinky purple that's matte. Really nice for the crease. And then a light pink with a little bit of a duochrome in it. And the last color is like a very pretty fuchsia purple. So there are all the colors in the Amethyst Obsessions palette. As far as the colors go, very gorgeous colors, very versatile. I feel like if you love color and you like having a color story on your eyes, I feel like these palettes really do that. Yes, they're a little bit more expensive than the Violet Voss, but at least you're getting a complete and kind of really sound color story that you can rely on. If you love greens on your eyes, you have an entire green palette. If you love reds on your eyes, you have a red palette. But it's not just reds. There's pinks in there. There's colors in there that kind of complement the tones in the entire palette. So the only thing is the blue one I feel like is more teal than blue, but I still love it nonetheless. I love teals and blues anyway, so I think it's a great palette. So now I'm going to talk about, or I'm going to do a talk through, a voiceover of how I created these two eyeshadow looks using all 4 of these eyeshadows. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so I'm going to start off with priming with the Becca Eyelid Primer, and then using the green palette, which is the Emerald palette, using that kind of seafoam green as my crease shade, and then going into the Sapphire one and using that more neon color. It didn't come off as neon as I thought. And then I'm going to go back into the Emerald palette using the green, the matte true green, to really intensify the green in the crease. Then going in with Sapphire palette and taking that blue and putting the outer portion of my lid and inner portion of my lid, because I'm creating, of course, a halo eye. And then the darker blue in the Sapphire shade is just going to intensify and deepen that blue. And then I'll go back in with that emerald green from the Emerald palette and just blend out the edges of the blue. And then going into, of course, the Sapphire palette, I'm going to diffuse the green just a little bit in my brow bone area. And then going back into the Emerald palette, using that really citron, I don't know, like it's a celery green, and then I'm just putting it in the center of my lid, and then I wanted to intensify it with the blue, going back into the Sapphire palette. And then back into the Emerald palette, I'm going to take that green metallic shade and put that on my lower lash line. And then take that green from the Sapphire palette to kind of like blow out the lower lash line. And then taking that yellow from the Emerald palette and putting it in my inner corner. So that's the completed look for the Emerald / Sapphire palette. Now we're getting into the Ruby and Amethyst palette. I'm using the same primer, going into the Ruby palette, taking that pink in my crease, and then staying with the Ruby palette, taking that coral shade to put on top of the pink. I like to build my crease shades. Going into the Amethyst palette, taking the pink matte color and really intensifying that pink. And then taking the darker shade, like that dark purplish, pinkish purple from the Amethyst palette, putting the outer and inner portion of my lid, because of course I'm doing a halo eye again. And then taking that purple pink shade in the Amethyst palette to diffuse the darker purple. And then going in with the matte red in the Ruby palette to really make it pop more. And then that pink again in the Ruby palette to diffuse that red just a little bit. And then this shade is like that shift shade in the Ruby palette, and then I put that on top of my middle portion of my eye, and then I put the purple one on top just to intensify it. Taking that ruby shade from the Ruby palette, it's like that metallic ruby color, and then putting it on my lower lash line. And then smoking it out with the pink from the Amethyst palette. And then putting the light pink in my inner corner from the Amethyst palette, and then going in my brow bone and on top of the inner corner with the Ruby palette. And that's the completed look from the Ruby / Amethyst palettes. hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and, you know, swatches, because I have swatches still. But I really, really love the Huda Beauty collections. It's just very pretty. I have the Rose Gold palette. I have the Desert Dusk. I don't have the Nude because for me that's a little too plain for me. I'm a very colorful person. I love color. And I really enjoyed these ones, so I figured I'll slowly start collecting these guys because they're very, very nice. And I love how they're kind of magnetized where they just won't topple over. They're not going to stick up entirely together, but it'll kind of stick together. So when you travel with them, they're not going to shift about in your luggage. Definitely, if you are traveling for the holidays and you need a really nice, and you want to impress your family members or your friends on your eyeshadow skills, definitely pick one of these up or a couple of these up so that you can have maybe like a neutral palette. Also, you know, a colorful palette to kind of mix and really create that look. They blended beautifully. They did not have any, I mean, there was fallout in some of them, but they are very chunky glitters, but that's just how it is. But my overall thoughts is I've thoroughly enjoyed these. I think the eyeshadow came out superb. Like in person, it's so good. Like I love it, and it was easy to create, and that's what I want. I want something easy. This is affordable. It's only $27 for a full color story palette without overwhelming somebody. Now, if I were to sell Huda Beauty in Ulta, I would highly recommend these to a lot of my customers that really, they're like, I don't want a large palette, it's overwhelming. So usually instead I actually recommend like the 9A, B, or C from Morphe because it's not as overwhelming. However, they're very bland and plain. If they want more color and they just want a small pop of color, it's very hard to find that in a lot of collections or a lot of cosmetic lines. So I think that what Huda did, that was amazing, and I really like the fact that she did an entire color story in one tiny little palette where someone can really add this to their collection or just have an all-in-one look. And I love the fact that it has a mirror, so these are perfect for on the go. So definitely an A+ in my book as far as eyeshadow palettes. I know I have a lot of them. I'm going to start a series though. I thought about doing like possibly in January because I really want to start some new series out to kind of change up my channel a little bit. I wanted to do a series based on my zodiac signs. I wanted to do those and do like a color story with that, or kind of like a avant-garde look. I'm not sure yet. I'm still kind of, it's on the drawing board, but I really want to focus on eyeshadow look that's more or less, I don't know. I wanted to do a color story and finding an eyeshadow look that'll create that color story. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think what I should do starting January. If I could probably do, oh my gosh, I need to do a lot of things. So yeah, I really, really need to focus on a lot of things. I know I was late on my birthstone last week, but I really need to focus on getting my turquoise look really nice. But I wanted to do like a color story for each month or something like that. I don't know. Let me know. I'm going to do zodiac signs for sure. So anyways, that's the end of this video. I'm so sorry it's so rushed. I'm running a little late to work. I still have to change. But I can get ready in like 2 seconds. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I hope you can maybe pick up some Huda palettes because I have way too much. But these are perfect for travel if you're really looking for something to travel with. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any eyeshadow looks that you want me to do in any of these palettes, let me know and I can definitely create one for you. So let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye!